Hello and welcome to the third installment of this Learn Violin Online beginner course. I'm Megan and I'm the face behind Learn Violin Online, or LVO for short. Today we're going to be going over posture and positioning. You'll be learning how to hold your bow, how to hold your violin, and how to position your left hand. Our posture and positioning are so important for creating a good sound, and I know you're so excited to play all of your favorite tunes, but I encourage you not to neglect this step and practice your posture and positioning daily. So we'll start with how to hold the bow. So we're going to hold the bow with our right hand, but just for now, I suggest taking the bow in your left hand and holding it like this with the bow parallel to the ground and the hair facing downward. Then take your right hand and hold it up like you're gonna give me a high five. High five, yay, learning the violin. And bend your thumb. So there are two different placements for the thumb. For total beginners, I recommend placing the thumb here on the outside of the bow. So my thumb is halfway on the hair and halfway on the ferrule, which is that silver part. It's on the side and it's bent. This placement of the thumb gives you a little bit bigger of a space to work with, so it's a little bit easier to handle at first as our fine motor skills are developing. Additionally, it's easier to tell in this thumb position when your thumb is bent versus when it's straight, and we want to try to keep it bent. The other option for thumb placement is inside the bow. This is where advanced players put their thumb and where everyone's thumb should be eventually. However, if you try it with your thumb inside and you feel like it's slipping through or your other fingers aren't quite doing their job, I recommend going back to the outside. But if you're going to place your thumb on the inside, you're going to do so in between the grip and the frog. So you can see that my bow has a little indent where my thumb goes. And again, I'm going to place it on its side and keep it bent. Now that you have your thumb in place, you're going to place your middle finger directly across from your thumb. Your thumb and middle finger are the center of your bow hold, so you want them to be in line. Your ring finger goes right next to your middle finger, and your index finger is going to lay down and touch the bow in between these first two knuckles. You can also see there's about a finger's worth of space between my index finger and middle finger. And then finally, you're going to place the pinky on top of the bow, nice and curved. The two main things to watch out for are the thumb, keeping it bent, and the pinky, keeping it curved. Let's run through those steps one more time. Bow out in front of you, bend your thumb. Place your thumb on either the outside or inside of the bow. Middle finger wraps around, ring finger goes right next door, index finger plops down, and pinky goes down, nice and curved. When first learning how to hold the bow, I suggest doing 10 of these bow holds each day. I know that sounds like a lot, but it really won't take you long. Next, we're going to learn how to hold the violin. So first thing I'll say is that I do generally recommend using a shoulder rest. I'm going to link another video in the description where I talk more in depth about shoulder rests and why they're important. But basically, when we're holding the violin, we want to try to maintain as much of our natural positioning and posture as possible. Now, the violin is not a natural position, so we will have to make some tweaks here and there, but you don't want to raise your shoulder when you're playing. And if I take that shoulder rest off, all of a sudden I have this extra space that I'm going to make up for by raising my shoulder, and that's just uncomfortable. There are so many different types of shoulder rests out there. If your violin came with one, great. If not, I'll leave a couple of ones that I like linked in the description. But I do recommend at least trying a shoulder rest. If it's uncomfortable, you can absolutely go without it. But for me personally, shoulder rests make everything better. So I'm gonna place the violin on my shoulder right here. I'm gonna turn around so you can see the back view. You can see that my shoulder rest is on my shoulder, and then the violin is right here. Then I'm going to turn my head about a 45-degree angle or to the corner, and then gently press my chin down. You should be able to hold the violin with no hands. let's try that one more time. Place the violin on your shoulder, turn your head, and press your chin down. The violin should be parallel with the floor. Now, for your left hand, you're going to touch the violin in 3 places. On your thumb, on the inside of your index finger, and with whatever finger you are putting down. So the thumb should be touching the violin on its side, and it should be about an inch away from the scroll. The index finger should be coming in contact with the violin right here, slightly above the bone. And then when you place your fingers down, which we'll get more in depth into in the next video, you're going to place them on the inside corner on the tip, and you're going to keep them curled, meaning that your knuckle is not going to collapse like that. That is how you hold your violin and position your left hand. I recommend doing 5 violin holds per day. So that is how you hold the bow, hold your violin, and position your left hand. Next up, we'll be practicing open string bowing and learning how to bow straight. If you are enjoying these videos and haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and hit that button. And if you're loving my easy to follow instructions and a clear plan to follow, then consider joining the Learn Violin Online membership. See you next time.